It's April 1st, and today I have something very special for you. Today, we're going to explore a powerful new architecture pattern that I've been developing. It's called N+1 driven development. The idea is simple. For every record you load, you fire at least one additional query. It's like a loyalty program for your database. The more you use it, the more you'll get charged. Now, some people call this a bug, but I call it job security. So as we look at the homepage, there is a lot of things going on. We have a lot of data that's being pulled from the database and a lot of associations with some articles and tags, a lot of things going on. And if we look at the request, it does happen pretty quick. However, if we scroll down and look at all of the N+1 queries that are being made, I am just filled with joy of the job security that I'll have. Because while the application does still respond rather quickly, we are leaving so much performance on the table. And so in a few months, when we are starting to get some complaints about the application being slow, I can just swoop in, eager load the data, and I'll come out looking like the hero. So let's get started. And so starting fresh with our application, if we look at the request, it happened extremely quick. Everything is eager loaded, and there's really no room for optimizations here. And so that's what we need to fix. If we look at the controller, we have so many different opportunities to make this page slower. We still need to order the records by descending, but we don't need to eager load in all of the authors, categories, tags, comments, and then the comments author. So instead, I'm just going to delete that includes, and that's going to make a big difference. So now when we refresh the page and look at the logs, we have our requests, and you can see we're making some great progress. We have a lot more queries being fired against our database, but I think we still have some more opportunities to make this a little bit slower. But already, we're up to 257 queries for this one view, but it's still under 100 milliseconds. So I think what we can do for the most viewed posts, we are getting the max by the view count, but maybe we could just iterate over these. Instead, when we have the dot size, that's usually a good indication that we are using our cache data. So let's go ahead and make each one of these also perform another query. And likewise for getting the author, I don't know if we are going to really slow this down too much, but we can try to loop through each one of those to get the author as well. And so now our controller's looking pretty good. We can come back to our application, refresh, and now we are over the 100 milliseconds. But unfortunately, we are still at 257 queries. So I think that in our view, we do have some opportunities to make this a bit slower. So again, everywhere where we are calling the dot size, I want to change to a dot count. Unfortunately, it was only in a few places, but let's go ahead and save this to see what happens. And unfortunately, we didn't get too much more, but we are over the 100 millisecond mark, and so that's great. And so on a serious note, doing something like this is never a good idea. We should always keep performance in mind without prematurely optimizing. And eager loading our data where appropriate is always a good idea. But there are 3 different eager loading methods. For our posts, if we want to keep the same idea, we have the includes, but we could also do a preload. And this preload fires 4 queries total, 1 per association. We can also do one big join with an eager load for the author, and then order it maybe by the author's name. And this will do one big join, which is great for sorting by the author's name. But really, our best option, and usually the right call, is to do the includes, because then Rails will pick for you, and it's usually the right call. And there's also some other opportunities for like the most commented post. And while this isn't horrible, you could do something like the post. We can grab the published. We can left joins on the comments. You can group by the ID, and then we can do a count on the comments ID descending. And this is going to happen on the database side, which is typically much faster than trying to do it directly within active record. And then we can grab the first record. For the total comments, Again, this isn't bad, but there are still some opportunities. We can grab from the comment model, we can joins the post, and we can merge the post.published to then get a count. But honestly, in this case, this starts to read a bit more complicated because I have to really think about what is this trying to do versus looping over all of the posts and grabbing the comment size. So you also have to take into consideration the readability of the code. Similar for the most prolific author, and Ruby's enumerables are great, but it operates on the data already in memory. So when that data comes from the database, you usually want the database doing the heavy lifting. And so doing something like this, we can come back to our application, refresh the page, everything still works. And this request is extremely fast, and the calls to the database were also really quick. Most of the time was spent on the view, rendering out all of that data. And so N+1 queries are one of those bugs that hide in plain sight. Rails does make it easy to write code that looks clean, reads naturally, but can also absolutely destroy your database under load. But luckily, the fixes aren't complicated once you know what to look for. And one skill isn't really memorizing the fix, it's training yourself to read the Rails logs and recognize that repeating pattern. Once you see that same query firing with 20 different IDs, you know what to do. Well, happy April Fools! Your database wasn't laughing. And as always, that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching.